If the ocean is so smart, why didn't it just take the heart back to Te Fiti itself? Why didn't it just bring me my hook?
While on your journey to success, it's going to be a challenging one, there's no question about it. But when you fail and you get punched in the face and knocked down and you feel like you can't get up and you're struggling and you don't know what to do next, that pain, you need to know, is only temporary. That's not going to last forever because you have the ability to rise up from that failure, rise up from the pit and continue to trying to become successful. But the moment you give up or you decide to quit, all that energy and all that hard work decides to become a waste. You chose to stop working for your dreams and everything you poured into them just goes down the drain like nothing ever happened. So you should never quit or never give up because that is the worst thing you can do. If you fail, there's always time for you to recover and come back because all that pain is temporary and you are able to rise up and you can do it as long as you're dedicated enough and you put in enough time and energy and learn about how to recover and learn how to grow from yourself and learn about how to bring yourself up from the pit because it is going to be crucial for you to keep yourself motivated and focused on the end goal, no matter how hard it is or how long it takes, because the journey of success is going to be a long, grueling journey that's going to take a lot out of you and you're going to grow a lot if you do it correctly, and that will only help you in the long run.
And that's important to me because that's an opportunity that I have to give joy. It just gives such perspective. When we were 14 years old, we lived in Hawaii, and we lived in a small efficiency apartment. And my mom and I came home, and I'll never forget, the rent was $180 a week. And there was an eviction notice on the door. And it was the final eviction notice. Like, that's the one. My mom started crying, and I never forgot in that moment. It was a seminal moment for me because I felt like I never want to be in this position again. What can I do? So at 14 years old, I thought, well, the heroes in my life, Muhammad Ali, for example, professional wrestlers, they're all men who have worked hard with their hands and they built their body. Do what my dad taught me and these other heroes, I'm gonna go build my body so we're never evicted again. Being evicted, by the way, as you were saying, has not only given me just great perspective, also, and my team and my family, we laugh at it, but I feel this way. You know, we're a month away from being evicted. I gotta go to work. I still have that in my head, you know, but it keeps you grounded, by the way. The most this and the most that, again, it's wonderful, but the alternative is what I once was.
I was 23 or 24. I just graduated from the University of Miami. I had $7 in my pocket. Exactly $7 in my pocket. Exactly $7 in my pocket. I'll never forget. I was just cut from the Canadian Football League and had to move back in with my parents in Tampa. And I made a little goal list at that time. And one was to buy my parents a house. We had never lived in a house before. We had struggled as I was growing up. They always lived in little efficiencies. The other was to marry Danny, who was my college sweetheart. We married and wound up getting a divorce. But now we're business partners and we're very, very close. The other one was to pay off all debt. The other one was to graduate. And the other one was to take care of my grandmother's situation. And at that time, my grandmother, she didn't have a place to live. And happy to tell you, I did all that. So
let me just speak from the heart and really not have anything prepared, but just tell you what's worked for me. And maybe some of the stuff that's worked for me might work for you now, currently, presently, as you guys have your goals and ambitions, NBA championship, MVPs in this room, things like that. But then further on down the line, this idea and this notion that you could be anything you want, you can accomplish anything you want, right? We hear that. You've heard that from the time you were little boys. You hear that now. You're already incredibly accomplished. You can win an NBA championship, MVP of the league. You could become president. You could become governor, you could do Charles, and you could do Shaq, you could do that, you could do whatever you want to do. Now, I had to send that shit home to my wife at that time. I had no money, so I remember that. When I got cut from Canada, I had $7 in my pocket, and I always tell that story. So now my production company is $7, advertising agency is $7, everything is $7. What helps me is to keep the hard times in the front of my mind. So I feel like this could be something, an ideology and mindset that could help you if you look at it that way. Because you made it already. We made it. We're successful boys, and we're lucky boys to be where we're at. Oh, you guys made it. A big movie comes out. Back in the days when I was wrestling with WWE, a WrestleMania match. Everybody's rich in the room. Nobody's gonna get evicted anymore. Anything you got, there's no more money problems. Doesn't mean you don't smile. Doesn't mean you don't laugh and joke, quote, right? You're happy. I'm happy. I'm a happy guy.
I knew at that time when I was 8, I wanted to be an entertainer, and I loved the idea of that and what it meant. And when I was 8, I saw Indiana Jones for the first time, and I love that character. So heroic, and he kicked ass, and Rocky Balboa and Harrison Ford from Indiana Jones. So I was like all these guys and Elvis Presley too. I knew I wanted to be something, and it was important to me to be something. It was important to me that I didn't fail. But by the way, and if I did fail, at least what was also important was the lesson. And I didn't realize that until I got older, because when you're in it, you're in the grind, you don't really recognize those things when you're younger, but I could recognize them now and the importance of them now. And just in terms of the drive and the determination, a lot of it was experience too. Get your ass kicked, get back up, put the gloves back on, and you swing away.
Whatever time my call time is, and I tell this to studios and directors and our producers, whatever time my call time. So my call time is at 7. Back your clock up 4 hours, and then that's when I get up. And I'll train twice. I'll get my cardio in and breakfast, and then I'll go.
An entertainer, and I love the idea.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.